coming tonight and supporting Hearts and Minds, and seeing as you seem to be getting very generous tonight, I thought I'd better let you know what you're spending your money on. Hearts and Minds are a charity that supports families that are touched by autism. For autistic children, the most important time of their life is the first early years, and early intervention is essential to giving them a future to look forward to. Unfortunately, getting early intervention is proving very difficult. Unlike most conditions, you get diagnosed. As soon as you're diagnosed, they assess what needs to be done and they start some treatment. With autism, the first battle is getting diagnosed. All the experts will tell you, yes, we think your child's autistic, but getting the local authorities to actually do the assessment and get the diagnosis can take 2 and 3 years, with all sorts of excuses given. Then once you've got the diagnosis, you don't automatically get a plan put in place for early prevention. So you might have to wait another 2 or 3 years to get your child statemented. At this stage, they're 7, 8 and 9 years of age. They're already going to school, often placed in mainstream schools. Some of them have got limited vocabulary or non-verbal. They've got very limited social skills and they really struggle and they're going backwards. The same children, if they got early intervention from the age of 3, there's a big chance that these kids can go on, they can eventually end up in mainstream school, a lot of them. They can get a full education, they can lead a fulfilling and happy life, they can hold down a job when they get older. Because of the lack of funds and the lack of support from the local authorities, these same children end up in care. It staggers me that it can happen. Any other condition you get, you get assessed and you get put on a treatment plan, except for autism. So it relies on charities like ourselves and other charities around the country to step in and to try and help these families and support them and fight their corner for them to make sure that their kids do get the care they need as early as possible to give them a chance of having a future. So that's what all the money that we raise tonight gets used for. So please, please dig deep. It really does make a difference. It's life-saving. So while I'm on, I'm just going to introduce her to Cheryl, who's a mother of an autistic boy called Bobby. And she's a great volunteer for the charity. She does a lot of work for us. But she'll just give you a small insight of what it's like to live with autism.
Hiya, I'm not the best public speaker, so please bear with me. But I've got a little boy, Bobby. The day he was born, I thought, oh my God, this boy. I looked at him and he was special. I looked at him and thought, you are a special boy. There's something different about this boy. And he looked like a little Botticelli cherub, the blue eyes, the blonde curls. And instantly I fell in love. But from day one, there was just something different. From day one, he didn't sleep for 3 weeks from the day he was born. And that time, he just wanted to eat and eat and eat and eat. I was exhausted. Nobody would help me. Nobody could tell me what was wrong with my son. Why does my son not sleep? So it just carried on for months and months and months. He didn't sleep. All he did is eat. I didn't sleep. He wasn't walking. He wasn't talking. He's age 7 now. He's still in nappies. So it took me, I had to bang down doors. I went to my doctor. My doctor's going, no, don't be silly, he's just a bit delayed, he'll catch up with everyone else. But he's 2. He doesn't sleep, he doesn't eat, he doesn't talk, he doesn't walk. Well, help me, somebody help me. And I could not get any help. I banged down doors, I screamed, I shouted, I was tired. And I knew the full script of Cars. Because that's what we did, play the DVD Cars over and over and over again. So when I eventually shouted loud enough and eventually got listened to, I got the diagnosis of classic autism. Now my son is very, very severe in autism. It's a scale, but it's also like an iceberg. What you see, when you meet an autistic person, what you see, it's the tip of it. There's so many layers underneath it. And then, unfortunately, my son developed epilepsy at the same time. So the first time he said, Mummy, 2 weeks later, he had 10 seizures. That was it. Speech, gone. Just gone. And he developed some brain damage. So with that autism, and this delayed development anyway, everything had disappeared. He became my son is 7 years of age, but for at least 10 years, he will always be 2. Always be 2. Can you imagine that? He's the size of a 10-year-old, but he has toddler tantrums like a 2-year-old. He can only talk like a 2-year-old. Everything is blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Saying that, he has got a personality, and he's a very, very sweet child, and anybody who knows Bobby falls in love with Bobby. He's very sweet, he's very funny, he's very characteristic, but all these development delays, they will affect him for the rest of his life. He will never be accepted into society because of the way we as people perceive the way we should behave in society. My son doesn't care what society says. If he wants to spin, he'll spin. If he wants to poo on the windowsill while the 168's going past, he'll poo on the windowsill. He doesn't care. But as a mother, I am very proud every time my son makes a development. It's so much harder for my son to make a milestone than it is for a normal child. Every time he waves his hand at someone, acknowledges someone, that's, yay, Bobby's done it. And about 6 months ago, I was driving through Didsbury, and all of a sudden I saw Keith Duffy, Paul Scholes, on the back of a bus. There they were, Hearts and Minds. It was talking to me. So I got in touch with Hearts and Minds. I ran a campaign to collect mobile phones, to collect iPads for my son. And I ended up collecting enough phones to sort out the whole of my son's class with an iPad, with a communication system on, so my son and his friends can communicate with each other and communicate with the outside world.
Good for you.
Now the difference this iPad has actually made to my son is astounding. 2 months ago we got my son's first word. He's 7 years of age. We got his first word. I was late with the dinner. When you're autistic, everything's got to be on time. No doing lateness. Can't be fashionably late, can't be anything. Got to be on time. His hot pot was late. So he ran into the kitchen and he went, dinner! And that was it. That was it. That's the start of his talking. Now again, do you want to go to... Bobby, you getting in the bath? No. Bobby, do you want some chocolate? Yes. Bobby, time to go to school. Why? And so Hearts and Minds has not only changed my son's life, it's changed my life. It's changed my daughter's life. It's changed my son's life. It's changed our whole family. It's changed the perspective.